Hey, it's Victoria Staten, and welcome back to my channel. I am going to give you an update this week on my twin pregnancy for week 28. Yes, I finally made it to my third trimester. So happy about that. This week, babies are the size of an eggplant. As you've noticed over the last several weeks, I've been sharing their size comparable to a fruit or vegetable, which I think is cute. But let's get into the details. Okay, so first, I started having some bad headaches. I normally do not have headaches. I used to suffer from migraines, but due to changes in my diet, healing my gut, things like that, I don't deal with headaches. So having these headaches was kind of weird for me, and it was so bad. I remember typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at the very least, I would go to spin class, and I had to miss spin because I had such a severe headache. I also started to experience some insomnia. And I specifically remember waking up at literally 4:20 a.m. And from that point on, I could not sleep for the rest of the night. I tried everything. I tried watching YouTube. I tried praying. I tried meditating, everything that I could, reading, and nothing was working. So I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna get up and I will fall asleep eventually when I can. And I got up and I just read, I think some of my pregnancy books and some Bible and things like that. And I think around 9 o'clock, I finally got exhausted enough to where I could go back to bed. And thankfully I was able to go back to bed. So I did. I just went back to bed and got me some sleep. But on that same note, the next day I actually slept very, very well. Thankfully, the insomnia did not become a recurring thing. But another thing that I noticed during my week 28 is not necessarily like grieving my past life or grieving the current status of our life of not having kids, like the freedom that we have, especially like financially and time freedom. But I just really started to think a lot about, this is my last trimester, the last couple months of me being pregnant, of not having kids physically here with us, and just thinking about all the life changes, but also thinking about, in the same hand, that my husband and I have been married for 7 years, and we have traveled the world. We have done a lot of things, and I'm grateful for that. And we're ready for this next phase. That's part of why, which you've probably heard me talk about it multiple times, it's probably why we waited so long. Well, that's not probably why, that's why we did, because we wanted to be ready. We want to financially be ready, because kids are expensive. And then on top of that, we're having two at the same time. And your life changes so much. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing, but there is going to be change. And I think it's good to sit back and kind of think about everything that is going to change. So let me know if you experience that. If that's something that, during your pregnancy, if you kind of felt like you were grieving your life in a way, or you were kind of just preparing your mind for what to expect. Although this is our first and we don't really know what to expect, but I am one to believe that you can prepare yourself for what is next, or you can at least think about these things, and it's good too, so that you're not totally blindsided. But overall, I'm very happy. I feel very fortunate. I feel very blessed, and I'm excited for what is next. That weekend, on Saturday in particular, I'm going to look at my notes for this because it was kind of a lot that happened on Saturday. I started having some back pain that was worsening. I considered seeing a chiropractor. Bad cramps, like lightning crotch, you know what that is, check it out. Kind of like period-like cramps. I remember waking up at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and sneezing a lot, feeling like I was gonna get sick, really nauseous, kind of like I was in the beginning. And I remember taking the B6 supplement that day also, because that helps with nausea, and I have found that it has helped me keep my nausea at bay. It's not something that I take every single day, but if I get nauseous on a particular day, I will for several days, kind of get it back into my system. I remember that also being the point where I started to wake up about 6 times at night. Thankfully, I was able to get back to bed and get some rest, but waking up that many times in the middle of the night, it can be rough for sure. And then I also remember almost feeling like the babies had swapped positions, or they definitely moved to some type of different position because I was not feeling them in the same way that I was. But that is all that I have for y'all today. So thank you so much for watching. Please stay on. I'm going to show you a photo of my bump date at 28 weeks. And of course, if you have any questions or have any requests, feel free to comment that below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know if you have any feedback. Maybe you're also 28 weeks pregnant with twins. I love to see if our symptoms are kind of in sync, or maybe they're totally opposite. I love to hear. But until next time, I'll see you next time. Bye. And for those of you that would like to see a live bump update, you know, as I mentioned, I am technically 28 weeks today, but I'm just talking about, you know, last week. So I'll show you what my bump looks like now. It is growing, growing, growing so much. So crazy. To the point where like my pants literally aren't totally fitting anymore. And there I am. 28 weeks.